Welcome to my Top 5, where your favorite sports broadcasters talk about their top fives in all kinds of topics. I'm your host, Eric Merlis. First, before we get started, don't forget to hit all of those important buttons. Subscribe to this channel, give this video a like with a big thumbs up down below. Hit that bell icon for notifications about new episodes coming up. Leave your comments down below, and most importantly, share this with your friends using the hashtag #MyTop5. And make sure you come back later this week when you'll hear the explanations for why everybody picked their top 5 list. Today's topic is a fun one and a real popular one. My top 5 favorite athletes growing up. We have a lot of people that took part in this one and a whole bunch of familiar faces. So let's not waste any time and jump right in.
My top 5 favorite athletes growing up: Hank Aaron, Dale Murphy, Dan Roundfield, Dominique Wilkins, and Walter Payton. Does it sound like I grew up in Atlanta?
My top 5 favorite athletes growing up are, drum roll please, Larry Zonka, Don Shula, coach, not a player, but it's okay, Bobby Clark. Here's one that's going to come out of nowhere, Gail Goodrich, and Chris Evert.
My top 5 favorite athletes growing up were Michael Jordan, Joe Montana, Mark Grace, Alonzo Mourning, and the Ultimate Warrior.
My 5 favorite athletes growing up: Darryl Sittler of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Willie Upshaw, for the most part, a Toronto Blue Jay, Dominique Wilkins of the Atlanta Hawks, Earl Campbell of the Houston Oilers, and Boreas Salming of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
My top 5 athletes growing up were, as a Jets, Knicks, Mets, and Rangers fan, Richard Todd, Bernard King, Mookie Wilson, Reijo Ruotsalainen, if you're a Rangers fan, and everybody wanted to be Dr. J.
My top 5 favorite athletes growing up are Ron Hextall, Gary Carter, Randall Cunningham, John Starks, and Boris Becker.
My top 5 favorite athletes growing up in the Washington, D.C. area: Art Monk, Cal Ripken, Frank Wycheck, Michael Jordan, and Charles Mann.
My top 5 is Bobby Jones of North Carolina, Walter Davis of North Carolina, Julius Erving of the New York Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers, Lawrence Taylor of North Carolina and the New York Giants, and Michael Jordan.
My top 5 favorite athletes growing up: Don Mattingly, Bernie Williams, Michael Jordan, Terry DeHare, and Jerry Rice.
My 5 favorite athletes growing up were Reggie Jackson, Wayne Gretzky, Richard Brodeur, Walt Frazier / Bernard King, and the New York Jets Sack Exchange.
My 5 favorite athletes growing up were the Miami Dolphins, Dan Marino, the Detroit Tigers, Alan Trammell, Detroit Pistons, Isaiah Thomas, and then 2 of the Lions greats, one of whom you may not have heard of, Johnny Morton, the wide receiver, and then the greatest running back of all time, Barry Sanders.
My top 5 favorite athletes as a kid growing up were Ozzie Smith, Cal Ripken, Alonzo Mourning, Art Monk, and Dexter Manley.
My favorite athletes growing up, I'll start with one of my first ever interviews, Muhammad Ali, the greatest. Don Shula, not an athlete, well, he was a player who failed at that but became the best coach or one of the best all time. Steve Garvey, Dodgers. Roman Gabriel, obscure name, but one of my first attachments with the NFL Ram quarterback. And the logo. I was a young guy at the back end of his career, but Jerry West stood out to me, and then learned more about his career and his accomplishments, and later got to talk to him. So that would be my 5th.
Here's my top 5 athletes growing up. And number 1, I have to go with Sweetness, Walter Payton. At number 2, you can't be serious, it's John McEnroe, of course. And then at number 3, if you're from Chicago, you had to love Michael Jordan, and why not? And then Andre Dawson, as a native Chicagoan, and rounding things out, no one ever broke a bat across their helmet better than Bo Jackson.
My top 5 athletes growing up were Willie Mays, Roger Staubach, Arnold Palmer, Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain, and Pistol Pete Maravich.
My top 5 athletes growing up: Jim Brown, Wilt Chamberlain, Willie Mays, Timmy Brown, and Dick Allen.
My top 5 favorite athletes growing up: Bernard King,
Freeman McNeil, John Stearns, Lee Mazzilli, Bjorn Borg.
That's it for this week's episode of My Top 5. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to come back later this week and see all of the videos where everybody explains why they picked the 5 athletes that they chose for their lists. Before you leave, make sure you like this video by hitting that big thumbs up down below. Subscribe to this channel. Hit that bell icon for notifications about all of our upcoming episodes. Leave your comments down below. And most importantly, please share this with everybody that you know and all of your friends. And use the hashtag MyTop5. I'm Eric Merlis. I'll see you next week.